Hey, how's it going, everybody? Hope you're all doing well out there. We got Crazy Wabbit, Derek Taylor, and Tony in the chat. Tony, if that's a compliment, then I'll certainly take it. The song you were just listening to is called Dr. Doctor and Mr. Mr. And you'll be able to catch that live at Freebeat Live 2024, which if you just saw the little flyer, it's Friday, July 19th, so a week from this Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, and then again the next morning, Saturday at 11 a.m. Pacific time. Going to be a lot of fun. A free live stream concert right here on the channel. I'm playing along to some patron tracks. I'm playing some original tunes both on my standing live rig as well as at my electronic drum set. And then I've also got the community showcase, which is all of your music, which we'll be playing in between those two sets. For the first time ever, we're doing a physical scene change, moving the live rig out and moving in the electronic drum kit during intermission. So that'll be fun. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. Derek, you just woke up from a super long nap. Time for the stream. I don't really know what we're doing today. I've got the Play Plus and the Key Step 37 here. Galactic Tapes is here, fresh off his Tracker Plus order. I'm excited for Galactic Tapes to get a Tracker Plus. I might have my hands on one, maybe. We'll see. Definitely I'm getting my hands on one. It should be here very soon. I'm excited about that. But right now we've got a different Polyend product. We've got the Play Plus, and I figured maybe we'd just mess around. I don't know. Like I said, I've got the Key Step 37 plugged in, and I can't hear it. What did I mess up? Project, MIDI, notes in. There we go. Maybe? There we go. Cool. A cheap noise is in the house. It is going pretty well. It's very hot here in Oregon. Today's our first day under 100 degrees Fahrenheit in like 5 days, and it's like 96 out right now, so it's very hot. There's no AC in the studio. If I cut it like 10 minutes short tonight, that's why. And I'm gonna be pausing a lot for this for some water. But yeah, I don't know. I figured we'd just mess around with the Play Plus and see what we can come up with. I've got some sample packs loaded in here. Got my acoustic kit sample pack, as well as just the stock standard techno acoustic or techno sample pack. I don't know. Let's play around with some of these samples here. Where's the normal hi-hat? There it is. What if we go like just like that? I could have sworn you could do that. Maybe not. Oh well, I'll just do it like this. If you long press, it does copy. There we go. And let's grab a kick. Actually, let's randomize the kick. Whoops. So we'll select that row there, fill, and under type, just going to put kick. And I don't know. There we go. There's so many different ones you can pick from here. So cool. So we can hear there's probably some variation going on, which is cool. Yep, nothing on the other pages of the pattern. Yeah, it sounds like there's some chants per step, maybe, or something going on here, because they're not playing every time. So I'm going to... Okay, actually, I think I messed this up. Hang on, what did I do here? I never go into this area of the play, really. As you can see, it's not playing there. Now, normally, we can just... Oh, it's set to 64 steps long. Let's set it to 14. Maybe 15. Or 16, sorry. There we go. Now we can see it was set to skip one, play one. Cool. Play one, skip one. Okay, we're all good now. Hey, thanks, Galactic Tapes. And yeah, that kick does hit pretty hard. I'm just realizing that is not the kick from my acoustic pack. No, that's the kick from the techno pack. So we're kind of blending these together here. So what if we grab my acoustic kick and throw that in here as well? That's pretty sick. Bring down those hi-hats a bit. Let's also set the chance of those hi-hats to have a random note. Sounds good. Just 10% of the time. Derek, you only have one thumb? Yeah, Galactic Tapes beat me to it. Okay, let's grab a snare drum. Sample. By the way, a tip for the Play and Play Plus users out there. This applies to both devices. Under settings, go ahead, do yourself a favor, turn off knob double tap. When it's on, it allows you to switch between both settings. But it's so inconsistent, it just doesn't work very well at all. So go ahead and turn that off and just use these two buttons right here. I don't know if you can see on the screen, but there are two buttons here that allow you to select the parameters depending on what you're on. That way you can just tap to select, there you go, the parameter you want, and then switch between its alternate right there. Fun little tip. Let's grab... How about a clap? We'll grab that one. Put that just on 2 and 4 with a bunch of reverb, maybe. There we go. That's cool. Let's jump to our synth tracks now and see what we can do here. So for synth 1, we will go in and grab something from the Wavetable FM engine, just because it's cool. I've been playing with chunky bass a lot on my Tracker Mini. So we can use it here. We'll select that. I'm going to set polyphony to 1. And let's edit that patch a bit. Let's just go in and take the release off. There we go. Make it super snappy. There we go. I will say, I really like the synths on the Tracker Mini. On the Play Plus, it can be kind of a pain in the ass to edit them with this menu. So I didn't really use them that much outside of just the presets on the Play Plus here. But once we got them on the Mini, I started editing them, and they're very powerful, actually. They're super cool, and I'm very excited to play with them on the Tracker Plus as well, because you essentially get the ability to go between all the different sections just by hitting a button or a pad, which is really cool. Galactic Tapes ordered a Tracker Plus today and is already onto the play. Pace yourself, my friend. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We will select this track. We'll make it 32 steps long, and let's live play in. There we go. That's cool. Let's go, and I always want to hit this to get to the synth editor. Maybe I want a different patch, though. I don't know. There we go. One thing that's cool about the synth engines on the Polyend stuff is that it's kind of like the Digatone or the FM engine is, in that you have an FM synth, but then you can also play with a traditional filter, which is really cool. Play Plus will be next year at bonus season. The patterns on the Play Plus can be up to 64 steps long each. There we go. That's pretty good there. Now the cool thing, and we don't need to mess with macros right now. The cool thing though is that each pattern also has, I believe, 16 variations, which is really cool. Wabbit, no need to apologize for getting lost in a jam. That's the best reason to be late for anything. But yeah, you get all those variations, but then you also, these are all patterns per project. So it's a lot. You're not going to be running out of patterns. Although I don't really find myself composing on the Play Plus. Probably because I typically don't play it with a keyboard. I just kind of let it generate stuff on its own. because you can actually go into scales. Unlike on the trackers, you can actually turn on the scale filter, which is cool. I probably won't use it today since I have a keyboard, but if I'm doing fill or any of the chance or randomize features that can add notes, I will absolutely use scale filter. That's actually how Mitch kind of sold me on the play at NobCon. Mitch from Polyend. He turned on scale filter, and then, well, screw it. Let's just do it. What the hell? Let's grab another synth here. Let's grab Engine 2, and now he showed me this with samples, but it works just fine for this too. Actually, that'll work too. So we can just go in here and don't even have to fill. We can just literally go like this here, right? Go in to scales, scale filter on. What did I play in? We'll just call this D Dorian actually. Now check this out. We can go live record, and then mess with the note. Whoop, select it. And because the scale filter's on, we can just wiggle the knob, and it'll just do it for us. Which is really cool. And then we can go in and just like take out random notes. Go in, select the row, chance, random. I've never tried random pitch bend. Random note. 60% chance of the time, and it'll stick to the scale filter too. Your cat likes the jam, Derek? That's awesome. Cheap Noise asks, what do I think has replaced the OPZ the most in my setup? You're planning on getting one, but build quality, yeah. There are 3 pieces of gear that have replaced the OPZ in my setup. I only have one in the studio right now because the other 2 are out in the living room because that's just where I use them most of the time. But the first device is this. This is the Dirty Wave M8. It's a tracker. It's got synths and samplers and is phenomenal. The second device, I would say, is the Polyend Tracker Mini, which is a tracker. It's got synths and samples and is awesome. And then the third device is the groovebox, which, like I said, it's out in the living room. I'm not going to run and grab it, but it's a little $250. It kind of looks like a pocket operator, but it does so freaking much. It's absolutely insane what it does, but it's got that more 16-step grid type sequencer. So when I'm looking for that workflow, I'll just go to the groovebox. But yeah, those 3 devices, when I'm outside the studio, are basically all that I use, which is pretty wild. Which that's really how I used the OPZ, was anytime I was outside of the studio. If I was looking for a direct OPZ replacement in terms of what feels the most similar, I would definitely say the groovebox. Absolutely. It's funny, I was actually, I'm working on a script for my top 5 favorite groovebox videos, and 3 of the 5 are trackers, and then the groovebox, and then one other. Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, the creator of, like Galactic Tapes has said, the creator of the groovebox was kind of targeting the OPZ when he worked on it, and it's just it's one hell of a device. I use 5% of what it can do, and that's enough to satisfy me. But someone like Galactic Tapes has pushed the groovebox pretty hard, so it is possible. He's done some crazy stuff with it, some really cool music. Let's put some delay on these random plucky thingies. Maybe not that much. That's cool. Yeah, sick. Oh, Gabrutal, I totally missed you. Hi, how's it going? And Hi-Fi's here as well. I'm doing pretty well. I'm doing well, staying cool here in the heat. My cat is meowing at the door. Just hanging out. Enjoying some low stakes jamming on the Polyend Play Plus. Let's do some chords. I'm going to erase this little ARP thing because it's kind of silly. It was more to just show off the note thing. Just kidding, I want to play that. Yeah, let's go to play mode now and actually mess with this. Euphoria is a fun one. Might not work the best for that pattern. One thing I love about the different play modes on the Play Plus is it gives you visual feedback of what's going on. So watch the playhead here on the second track. Hopefully that's showing up on camera. Yeah, I think that's really neat that it can do that. Now we can randomize notes. Go set the track length to 15. I mean, as you can see, I could just go on and on and on here. Just messing around. I pronounced your name right. That's a miracle. I never pronounce anything right. Does the Polyend Play have MPE capability? I don't think so. I don't believe it does. I've never really messed with MPE. I need to kind of get into that more. Anyway, let's play some chords. To do that, we'll go over these. Oops. We'll go synth 3. And we'll go into the synths and we'll change that to my favorite of these synth engines, which is the Virtual Analog Poly. I'm a simple guy. actually see what this would sound like polyphonic. Yeah, that's nice. Nope, I did not mean to initialize the patch. Dang it. Padme. I remember it. Because Star Wars. There we go. 4-note polyphony. I meant to go to edit patch. And what was I going to see? Filter. Guess I could have just used the knob there. But yeah, let's play. I don't know. Nope, I don't like that at all. Sometimes I prefer just... I mean, most of the time I just prefer, like, actually playing on the play. You know? Like, doing the random stuff and not using a keyboard. But it can be fun sometimes. Maybe we'll just put, like, a basic E minor in here. Let's do a more fun shape. There we go. Only need 3 tracks for that. Okay, so now what we'll do is we'll go into the synth and edit the patch. Let's take LFO1, set it to a ratio of 16th notes. There we go. We'll go random. And then we'll go down to the modulation area here, and let's go LFO1 for a source and destination. Volume. Yeah, I like stuff that gets rhythmic like that. Now we'll go back to the amp envelope and see if we can't get rid of that. Clicking. Huh. Kind of sounds like shit. Kind of sounds okay. Play on the play so you can play while you play. Double Dragon vibes. Never actually played that. I know. I've never played Double Dragon. Still not loving these right here, so I'm going to delete those. Yeah. I don't know. That's the thing I find with the play is I'm never productive with it, but I always have a really, really good time. However, I will say if I was looking to perform live with just a very, very minimal setup, and not if I wasn't concerned with actually playing things live, I would set up my whole set probably in the Play Plus and just go with that. I'd probably go Play Plus and then the either the groovebox or the SP404 Mark II. Alexander Lee, hello. How are you? Yeah, that's the thing about the play. Like I don't really enjoy writing on it, but I love just messing around and seeing what I can come up with. Just because there's so much cool stuff you can do. Like, and even just on the normal play, like if we go in and just mute the synth tracks and go ahead and fill in, let's grab a bass from our from our techno pack here. Don't know why it picked claps. That's interesting. Oh, because that's what I have selected. Oop. That's fun. We can select those two there and randomize, or chance anyway. Random note. We're back on the damn claps. There we go. We'll just do those. It's just fun. Like that's the thing that I like about it. Hey, Chickman Terry, how's it going? What do you get in the Plus version compared to the standard? So the Play Plus, the big thing that you get are the synth engines. So the standard Play is just sample based. You get 8 sample tracks and that's it. That being said, you can still do a lot with it. There are some people that have done way cooler stuff. It's someone else, I think I saw another chat. DJ Isolated. Not sure about this gadget. A little pricey. Doesn't inspire gas. It's would I have purchased one myself if Polyend didn't send me one? I'm not sure. But that's because I'm way more into like songwriting than I am just randomly jamming. I'm way more into, composing a through piece of music. The Play is fantastic for people, I think, who maybe don't have too much of a music background but are looking to get into it. Because, so check this out. I'll just load a random pattern here. We're completely empty. I've just loaded in some basic samples that come with it. I can highlight 3 rows here. I can go fill. We can go beat. I can pick any of these styles, click fill, and look at that. There we go, just like that. Got a drum beat going. I can select my hi-hats here and tell it to pick a random sample, always, or 80% of the time. I can then tell it to change the texture, or the octave, or the volume, or the spacing, which is kind of like a pan, I believe. Then I can select a row here, go and, pick a bass. Pick a bass sound. Click fill. Like that, we're grooving. And then go into perform mode. Start messing with a bunch of effects. Just like that. So, it's a super cool device for sure. It's a very different audience than for something like the Tracker. Yeah, like Terry said, that actually sounds really good. Although, yeah, and there's Wabbit, someone who I met last year who doesn't have musical background but was there jamming with the rest of us thanks to devices like this, which is so cool. I believe the Oxy 1 was also something Wabbit was playing with at KnobCon. I didn't understand that at all. That went over my head. But actually, Terry, you say if you're not worried about performing, although I'd argue this is more performance-based than a lot of gear out there just because of how fast you can mess with stuff. And the perform mode is so cool, where you can select your tracks over here, and then these buttons here are all different effects. Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah, that was a bit of a free beat freestyle. It doesn't necessarily have autofills directly, but with the performance mode, you can kind of fake them. So you select your tracks here. So let's say we could take our snare drum track, right? Which is track 2. So we're playing, select it. it's not directly like punch-in style effects. However, you can. I mean, the performance effects are basically like that concept. So it's super cool. I actually, Mitch from Polyend, I believe he used to perform exclusively with the Play Plus Live. I think he does tracker stuff now. But yeah, it's super cool. Yeah, Wabbit got me there. The perform mode would be an alternative. Yeah, super cool. Any groovebox can do some sort of live performance. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm sure there's probably exceptions, but yeah, most grooveboxes, I'd say if you put in enough time, you can perform with them. Cheap Noise, we'll see you later. Hope to see you at Freebeat Live next Friday, the 19th and the 20th, depending on what show you can make. Yeah, should be fun. Watching me play drums is over your head. Watching me play drums is over my head. I get into a whole different mindset when I start playing the drums. And then I'll watch it back and I'll be like, oh, I don't remember doing that. I'm really excited for Freebeat Live this year because I'm doing an electronic music style live set and then a traditional Freebeat Live style set at the kit too. Gonna be a good time. Freebeat freestyle rapping when? Never. Never. It'll be a cold day in hell if I rap in a song. Nothing against rap. I can't do it. Oh yeah, you can also use a keyboard to play your samples. And it actually adheres to the scale. So if you look, the C sharp is actually changing to a D because we're in D Dorian right now, which is white notes only. Spit some quick bars? No, not my thing. Yeah, I was practicing the patron submitted tracks today at the drum kit. There's some fun stuff for sure. Some of there's 4 tracks. There are 4 patron tracks submitted. They kind of are. There's enough sparseness in there that I'm kind of able to just kind of jam over them, which is a lot of fun. I enjoy doing that kind of stuff quite a bit. Oh, let's not get sued by Pirates of the Caribbean. By the way, if you're ever trying to figure out what D Dorian sounds like, there you go, Pirates of the Caribbean. What else do I want to do here? We could also chain patterns or switch between them. So there you go. There's your live play stuff. I can't remember if you can copy and paste patterns or not. I think you can. Pattern 6. There we go. Yeah. So if I wanted to do more here on this pattern, we could also go into a variation of our patterns, which I have, I believe, if we go into settings. Oh, no, I don't. Interesting. Oh, yeah, I do have. Never mind. I just forgot how it worked for a second. So each pattern has different variations. So let's take the snare drum track, which is this one. First of all, a little reverb. But it's also very easy to mute in solo. Mute for your track, solo. But each track has 16 variations within a pattern, which is so sick. So to access those, I push this key right here if I want for the snare drum pattern. Now I have all of these different ones. So now you can see it's empty. So we'll put one here. Whoop. Let's grab our snare sample. Actually, the easiest way to do this, I think, would be to just simply copy it. There we go. And we'll kind of make a fill here. And we'll highlight multiple steps here to lower the volume on these. There we go, giving us a nice little fill. So now we'll go back to our first pattern, or our first variation for the snare track. There we got our fill. And I believe shift and new variation lets you switch instantly. Have I seen the video from the CEO of Patreon? I have not watched that yet, no. It's on the list. Right now the list is Freebeat Live. What would this sound like as an ARP, or as a strummed chord? Oh. That's cool. Now, let's see here. If we go in and turn off quantized recording, will it let us record this madness? No. Okay. I found very few sequencers that can handle the key step pros, our strum chord feature, which is super cool by itself. Now is when I wish I was running this all through the SP404 Mark II, because then I could use skip back sampling. That's a whole different story, though. We'll stop that before that becomes the focal point of the video. Let's make a variation of our kick drum. I wanted to kick. There we go. Cool. Ha. Interesting. I thought it would record that change. I don't know. Oh well. I'm sure there's a way to do it. I honestly have not spent enough time with the Play. And the Play Plus. I've only really recently started super getting into them. Shift plus variation switch. like I said, it's really easy to switch between patterns. I will say a gripe I have about the Play Plus and all the patterns for performing is that if you change the tempo in one pattern, so let's go to this pattern here, set the tempo to, let's just say 125. Then we'll go to this pattern here. The tempo change stays. So if I wanted this to be cool 84, and then switch over here. You can't do that. So in a live set, all your stuff has to be the same tempo, and then you need to adjust it on the fly. I did bring that up to Polyend, and they said they weren't sure if there was a way to actually implement that. So that can be a little bummer, a little bit of a bummer rather, if you're working on a live set, but not the end of the world, certainly. But yeah, it's a pretty fun device. It's very different. It's very interesting. And there are master effects as well here, including the limiter and the saturation. I believe they're the same as on the Tracker Mini and the Tracker Plus. And yeah, well, seeing as the few people that were in here, we've dropped down to just a few people watching, and seeing as it's like 99 degrees out right now, and I am sweating buckets, I think we might wrap things up right here. I am getting I'm pretty overheated. Gonna pause for a water break. Yeah, it's a really different device that's not for everybody. But once you kind of accept it for what it is, there's really nothing else like it. It's super fun, and I know you can get the original Play pretty cheaply these days. In fact, you know what? We're going to take a look live. Let me pop over and see what the Polyend Play is going for these days. So new, it's $4.99. However, well, I'm seeing it new for $3.99 at like Perfect Circuit, and I'm seeing them used for anywhere between $300 and $400. That's pretty solid, I think, actually. If you don't need, if you don't care about the synth engines, like I mean, the 8 sample tracks is still plenty. Just know that it cannot sample. There's no line in. The I/O on the back is rather sparse. USB Type-C for power. There's a micro SD slot for loading your samples in. Right here I've got MIDI in. I'm not using the MIDI out, and then audio out, and that's it. That's it. So it is kind of weird that it can't sample, especially, you know, being a sample-based groovebox. Kind of interesting. However, another aspect of it is, as a MIDI controller, as a MIDI sequencer, it is pretty damn good there, because all of the like the fill and randomize and chance, all of that works over MIDI as well. And even on the basic Play, you get 8 sample tracks and then 8 MIDI tracks. It's kind of like what they did with the Tracker Plus and Tracker Mini, in that the synth tracks that they added for the Plus version just can take the spot of the MIDI tracks, which is kind of neat. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I really dig it. It wasn't something I thought I would enjoy, and then I just started using it. I go to it kind of, well, I should say I made a video on this a couple weeks ago as well, but if I'm feeling like I'm not, you know, if I'm not feeling very creative, I will go in and literally just build a track or a drum beat that I would normally play out loud, or on a real kit. Sorry, I say weird stuff when I'm like focusing on this, on something else in front of me. So like Just playing a random drum beat here. So like I'll do something like this. Something I'd actually play on a drum kit. And then I'll just go in and start messing it up. Like change the play mode. And just look for inspiration. That's pretty sick right there. What happens if we take the hi-hat track and take the track length down? You know, there's just so much you can do. Even go in and random note, which can either give you inspiration for writing electronic music and sequencing and stuff, or for even how I play dynamically, because on an acoustic kit, the harder you hit the hi-hat, you know, the higher the pitch and so forth. Or where you hit it, you know, a slushy hat's going to be usually lower than the tip of the stick on top. I don't know. There's just lots of ideas, lots of ways to pull inspiration. Yes, you can multi-track audio over USB, and I believe that's on both units. It might just be the Play Plus, but I want to say you can do it on both units. Yeah. Anyway, folks, it is coming up on 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, which means our time together today has come to an end. I appreciate y'all being here. I really hope to see all of you next Friday, the 19th of January at 7 p.m. Pacific time right here on the channel. It's going to be a free live stream concert. I'm going to be doing 2 different sets. We have, you know what? Screw it. I'll announce it now. Galactic Tapes has put together an amazing opening set for the concert as well. Galactic Tapes will be opening for me. He spent a lot of time and effort on his set. It's excellent. And then we'll be, like I said, that's Friday, July 19th at 7 p.m. Pacific. And then a second show, July 20th at 11 a.m. Pacific. That show is catered more to time-wise for people on the in the eastern countries, overseas, to be able to get it, to be able to check it out. A bit more convenient, hopefully. Yeah, it should be a good time. Galactic Tapes, thanks for the free beats. Yeah, gonna be a good time. Hope to see you there. Thanks for being here. Hope you enjoyed. I'm always so bad at ending these, but I appreciate y'all. That's all. Yeah, we'll see you on Friday for a weekly video here on the channel, and then more free beat live prep. Thanks, everybody. See you later.